Bill Kings Fantasy Football League 13 of the 2023 season, season 2 of the league itself. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? How you doing? I'm Tony V, aka The Random. I got my man 5-Man Rich in the building from the Morning Coffee on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Rich, how you doing?
Doing very good, sir. Very good. Tony D, my brother veteran, my fellow broadcaster and good friend here on this thing called the internet. We are doing fantastic. We got this is week 12?
13.
Week 13. Week 13. Yeah, week 13.
We
still got a lot of football. But we're doing good. We're doing good. Thank you for having me up as always. This is always a real treat. As far as being on here with you, and it's always great fun as far as get ready for the games this afternoon.
Absolutely appreciate it. Anything you want to cover from last week's games at all?
Oh, God.
Yeah, take your time.
There was just one game, as everybody knows. I like the New York teams, but I'm primarily because the Giants are so crappy. Rooting for those Buffalo Bills. I was in deep mourning this last week of their loss to Philly. It was a good game. I'm not taking away from anything from Philly. It was a good game and stuff, but it was basically what I said on all the previous losses from the Buffalo Bills. They shot themselves in the foot. They gave up. They coughed the ball up, interception-wise, fumble-wise, and they just couldn't get it done. And they were playing a good ball game, but those little mistakes when you get two teams of that caliber. And we have a game today we'll be talking about that's even probably higher than that caliber of that. When the Phillies are playing, I'll just say it, 49ers today. They're already talking that game is the game of the season right now.
Right. So
we have information.
San Francisco and the 49ers being the game of the day, and I'm also going with Houston and Denver being the game of the day.
Okay.
Those are going to be monsters. Those are going to be
the Houston game, for some reason, just before coming on, Tony, before popping up here with you, is the Houston game start at 12?
I don't even know the
Eastern. I'm checking right now. And who are they playing? They're playing. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't want that. That's the wrong.
I'm throwing the link out there to everybody.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Houston. No, they say 1 o'clock. I thought I saw 12 o'clock on the TV here this morning. So, we got it up there. This looks pretty good on the big screen there, dude. It's
information man is in the building. How's it going, big bro? What's happening, man? Happy belated to you if they pass by. Big up to you and yours. Thammer's in the building popping up, my good man.
Thammer and Helen. Afternoon.
Helen. How you doing, lady?
It's good morning. I was showing my clocks to Helen this morning. I had an hour broadcast this morning talking about what I'll be talking about here later on.
I didn't even see you.
What's happening?
Oh, you good? I might have still been asleep. I'm waiting to see if anybody else is gonna pop up.
You got it?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We got a whole bunch of close birthdays over these past days. Rich, like, you still going? I got to teach.
No, I'm here. I'm back. I just missed dial. Oh, what the fuck?
And Rich curses.
Oh, you can hear. Oh, shoot.
I told your ass.
You told me.
Damn, OBS.
You can hear me and my mic is down. I gotta use the button. Oh my God.
Goodness,
no problem.
He does have a broken clock collection. He does.
Yeah. I was talking about my new clock up here.
Nah, you good.
So I forgot I gotta use the button on Restream. Oh my God. Jeez.
I do want to tell everybody. Yeah, I gotta admit this. I watched my Joshua Dobbs, no joke. I'm going to say this. With some games, with some numbers, with some records, we got to watch the game to understand some of these players. And I watched Joshua Dobbs playing Monday night. That man played excellent.
But he was having trouble, though, wasn't he, Tony?
He was having trouble. He had interceptions, yes, but he got right back on the field, and he showed no breakdown or anything. Falcons any good? The Falcons are a little bit of an issue, but I think they're doing pretty good this season. I would say that they're doing good. I know what their record says, but I think they look a little better than they have before. They don't seem to
Right.
have as many gaps or any issues as they have had previously, from what I've seen. So I kind of want to give them their credit over the criticism I have given the Falcons. But I got to give Joshua Dobbs credit. Matter of fact, I went to talk to Glick Wednesday night, and I was talking about that game. He was like, Cleveland had him at the beginning of the season and let him go. I said, what? I didn't even realize he was on the Cleveland Browns and they let him go. He's been back for
Right.
6 years. That man looks like he's ready to play. He can play.
Right.
He will take his blows. He's got some.
And he took some blows. He took some blows Monday, and that's just one game, because the 2 games previous, it just showed his stuff that he is a fully capable, good quarterback for the Vikings as far as that goes. So he lost one game. It's not just only the quarterback. There's a lot of other variables and stuff like that. So I'm still giving. I think he's still a good quarterback.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does today.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, but he looked good to me as a player. He looked good. I thought he did.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. The
back.
backstory on him is when I was watching that game, his parents have been to everyone from high school to college and to they've been to every one of his games. They're right there. He's got family in the stadium, and the fact that he's not just one of these guys that went to college and took home ec, I guess. If it's the man, I say that jokingly. I know they you know what I'm saying. This guy is a graduate of an engineer. He has an engineer degree, and myself, having worked around a bunch of engineers over the last 20 some years where I've worked after getting out of the Air Force. I know what the caliber of an engineer is as far as the smarts they have to have. And but I just think it's a good story with him and stuff like that. He is well worth the watch.
Yeah, he was. And I woke up. You can get him. Where'd you put him? Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Where's your phone? There you go.
Then you put that there because you know I can't reach that much. Hold on.
Excuse me, y'all. Sorry.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I remember that time. Hit the button, Rich. Hit the button. We got family calling today. Sunday. That's usually there's the when family's always calling in and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a call in. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Schedule on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go through the positions, recommendations, suggestions for week 13 as far as who you should pick fantasy football wise. Who's the favorites? Who's recommended? You have some regulars already, but we're just going to go through what they are recommending and what they are suggesting for people who may need to make changes to their rosters. So we're going to start with the quarterbacks, start them and sit thems. And of course, the NFL.com, they recommend starting Tua Tagovailoa over the
That's a no-brainer.
I have no debate on that. None. No debate. The only problem I'm going to have is that Commanders defense. Just being honest.
Yeah, you said that last week about the Commanders. They do have a tough defense.
Yes, they do. And they will be an issue. Sleep on them if you want to. It will cost you. In all honesty, it will cost you. He was a sit last week, finished with fewer than 8 fantasy points, outscoring Tim Boyle, but just half a point after a hot start. Tua has slowed down as of late, averaging just 13.98 fantasy points per game since week 7. But a get-right game could be untapped in week 12 as he goes up against the Commanders, who have allowed the second most passing. They say week 12. Isn't this week 13?
It's week 13. Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Is that what it's saying?
It says week 12.
No, let me check here.
This is week 13, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Hang on. Let me bring up the.
Go ahead. Helen, I don't know where everybody is, but it is a Sunday. It is the holidays, so that's fine. They've been here. I can't complain. I can't complain.
That might be a typo.
That is a typo. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, it's week. We're in week 13. You got Seattle and Dallas played Thursday night, and that's what I'm looking at the ESPN lineup as far as that goes. And Miami's playing Washington. Yeah, that's it. Is that what it says for him? Week 12?
It says week 12, yeah. That's what it says. I'm going to leave it at that. In all honesty, starter. There's no more questions. Starter. Sam Howell, the
Well, if
Commanders
you
versus
look,
the
if
Broncos.
you
Go
Tony,
ahead.
if you look at the thing, it says quarterbacks of week 13 up in the video there above that.
Yep. And they say week 12. I'm just
So
taking it as a typo.
that's going to be wow. That's they found a typo.
Significant typo. They recommend starting Sam Howell against Dolphins. I wouldn't. I would not.
You wouldn't you wouldn't start him?
I ain't no way in the hell I would start Sam Howell against the Dolphins. Even in a tough matchup against the Cowboys, Howell was able to top 17 fantasy points without even throwing a touchdown. Okay, now there's the reason why you would start him. He threw for 300 yards and ran for a score, which helps Eagles. You know what? Now that they say that, I do remember watching that game.
Well, he's got a good backstory too, as far as his travel to where he's at right now.
Up there, I agree with that 100%. Debbie, Sam Howell looked all right, even though they got their butt kicked, but they got their butt kicked. If he
Right,
got
right,
it, great. And this is what I was saying at the very beginning of the broadcast. You got to watch the game
right,
and see people playing over the stats and over what everybody's talking against folks. If he's got 300
right.
yards down, I think you might want to keep a radar on this dude.
And his projected fantasy, he's got 17 projected points there, so that's a little on the high side there as for a quarterback. So
That's pretty
he's
good.
going to get some
Yeah,
points.
Russian touchdown in 2 straight games. Howell just
Right.
finds new ways to put a fantasy points. His job done as a result. He has topped 17 fantasy
Right.
points in 5 and 8 of the last 9, which is ridiculously consistent and makes him a must start. Okay, and I'll give you that, especially in what could
Gotcha.
be a matchup against the Dolphins. Now, I don't know about the Dolphins defense. I will say this. I just said this a minute ago. The Commanders can slow you down. They can stop you. Debbie, you still playing. They can stop you. They can be an issue. But if Sam Howell can get numbers up, that almost makes this an upset game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That almost makes this an upset game.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, sir.
So, got the recommended Trevor Lawrence against the Bengals. The Bengals are done. The Bengals are done.
Are you calling them dead in the water there as far as for the playoffs and stuff?
I won't say that they'll be in the playoffs right now.
I think they're going to still make the playoffs.
Gotcha. Don't know if it's me, but
Yeah.
you're breaking up.
Oh, am I? Okay.
No, you're talking about me. That might be mine. Thank you, Helen. I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. Movie was good, Debbie. Thank you. The movie was good. He enjoyed it. Is anybody else seeing the broadcast choppy or whatever? Let me know.
On my side, Tony, I'm showing because I'm monitoring mine off of yours, and I've got excellent broadcasts as far as from Twitch.
All right, let me check the others.
But as far as Trevor Lawrence, I'm just checking his projected. His projected, he's 17 too. He's the same as the kid from Washington.
Right.
Off of yours, and I've got excellent broadcasts.
So the audio's good.
Yeah, audio's good.
All right. So the mess. Absolutely. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, no brainer. I'm not even going to run it in the ground. The Bengals don't have Joe Burrow. We don't have any faith in the new quarterback yet.
Well, I think Jacksonville surprised a lot of people last week. I think all of us, as far as winning the game,
in there. They're coming together. They are coming together without question. They recommend starting Brock Purdy at the Eagles. You have to. You have to.
If you don't, there's something wrong upstairs in your head.
You have to. Let's just be clear, ladies and gentlemen. You have to. This will be one of the biggest games of the day. This is also one of the biggest games
for sure. Yeah.
Quite frankly, this is already an NFC Championship game to me.
Oh, by far, yeah. This is that caliber. That caliber for sure.
Stop it. Everybody out there, just stop it. Those are the 2 best teams in the NFC. Dallas has stepped up in there as the 3rd. They just got to hold that position. The Rams are trying to get that game. We got it. Rams are actually rated higher than the Cowboys to a lot of people in the NFC as far as being playoffs both contenders. I give the Lions that. The Lions and the Cowboys both have to make it to the playoffs. Stop it. It's the Eagles and the 49ers. Period.
Right.
Period. Right now, period. You have to start Brock Purdy. Play with it if you want to. You will hate yourself afterwards. I'm telling you all straight up. Get mad at me. I don't care. Start it against the Eagles. If you need a streamer,
I agree. It's just
I saw something on Jordan Love this week. I forgot what it was. against the
Well,
Chiefs.
he's another one that he was another one. Jordan Love there starting out. He had some wobbly feet there as far as getting it going, and he's starting to come along for the Green Bay Packers right now.
There you go. There you go. So
You
from me
know,
to everybody out there, check him out. He's going up against the Chiefs. That's my only red flag.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that could be problematic.
That
But
is my only red flag. He's going up against the Chiefs, and you don't want to.
well, the Chiefs, they're still tough. Jordan's projection, he's 16 points, so he's still up there close to. He's up on the high end, but that may be a good game. But is it because Kansas City? It depends on what Kansas. They're not as bad as the Buffalo Bills. Okay, I mean the Kansas City has shown that they can come back, and they've had a couple of oopses and stuff like that. But this could be a watchable game. But like you said, the previous game, the San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles, that is the game of the Sunday this week.
One of them. The other one we're going to get to once we get there, but that's just one of them, and I will say it like that on purpose. Sit him. Geno Smith against Cowboys. I can't debate this.
Did you see the game?
That was Thursday night, wasn't it?
That was Thursday night. Dallas won, but Geno, I think he played a pretty decent game.
Talk about it.
Go. Well, it just that Seattle was giving the Dallas Cowboys some issues there playing, and they could have won that game. They were set up to win it, and I'm not sure what the stats. I'm bringing it up right now on Geno because I thought that was a very good game played by Seattle. And let's see, he had 334 yards passing. He had 3 touchdowns passes. He got 31 points, Tony.
There you go.
But the thing is, that's probably one of his best games ever. I guess it took a team like the Cowboys to really bring out the caliber of play. So, if before knowing what I know now, I probably would have sat him, and I probably would have regretted it. I think that's what because there's probably some people because Geno's had a sort of an up and down thing with the Seattle Seahawks, who are trailing behind the San Francisco 49ers, and they could they're in the spot for a wild card, I think, as far as that goes.
So he had a good game. That needs to be known.
I thought he played outstanding. I think it's the best game I've seen him play, Tony, even though it was in a losing effort.
That's good to know. He is going up against Dallas. I know Aaron Donald has had Geno Smith's number. He's been at him all season. I think it's been the biggest shakeup to Geno's stats. Dallas's defense is going to be the biggest shakeup to the Seahawks, period. Matthew Stafford, sit him against the Browns. Look.
What's the verbiage on him?
These are the sit. They say sit Geno Smith, but he still got his points. This is why you got to pick and choose. Even though they give you the information and the recommendation, you still got to pick and choose your own. No disrespect to any analysts out there. You have a make, but we all know any given Sunday. We all know this. Matthew Stafford, sit him against the Browns.
This could, I don't know. I don't know if I'd set him. I'd still, if he was the only quarterback I had, he's still a premier quarterback. Him and Geno. If you don't have anybody, who do you have better to put in?
That's the thing. Who do you have healthy? Now, these are going to be quarterbacks I think everybody will have to pick and choose after the ones that have already been drafted and are remaining healthy.
Right.
You know who the favorites are. You know who are solid picks. We got to go with everybody else. Matthew Stafford is resurging after a thumb surgery. He's going up against the Browns. They got a tough defense. And as I'm reading the narrative, they have allowed the fewest passing yards this season and the fewest passing touchdowns. That means Stafford is going to get big numbers. I get where they're coming from. Now, watch Matt Stafford go up there and put up 25 fantasy points.
That's a thing. This quarterback and Geno, that's where you gotta go with your gut, I guess.
To me, you have to go with your gut, but you need to understand why people are recommending what they're recommended, and you also need to see what any resistance would be against it. That's why I like these narratives on the screen. I leave them up on purpose, even with the
right.
You got to look at all sides of the equation, all sides. Kenny Pickett, sit Kenny Pickett, the Steelers against the Cardinals. I got no debate against this. I got no debate.
The Cardinal. Yeah. I like you say, if you have somebody better, he's fairly good. Pittsburgh's pretty good and stuff like that. If he's the only, that's the only problem I have with this system. If that's the only quarterback you have no choice, just to say. But if you have somebody better, I would say go ahead.
Gotcha.
Probably the same thing, the same category as the next one there that's coming up for the Tennessee.
I don't know. I don't like either team right now. Right now, I don't like either team, so I got no debate against this.
Okay,
I don't like either team right now. Neither one.
Right.
Sit Will Levis of the Titans against the Colts. This is tricky to me.
Right. Huh.
Remember the 4-touchdown debut from Levis? That feels like a huge mirage at this point. Since their breakout game that saw the second-round pick rack of 26 fantasy points, Levis has thrown just 2 touchdowns in 4 games, matching his 2 interceptions in that span. He has been held to fewer than 200 passing yards in 3 straight. He has now reached 13 fantasy points in the game since that dazzling debut and has been stuck in single digits in 3 or 4. I know this is a deeper consideration, but with 6 teams on the bye and the injuries affecting the position, some of us are desperate facts. Even so, if you're extreme, there are plenty of better options than Levis. Now, as far as the other options than Levis,
right?
Everybody out there, we need to go through all the available quarterbacks in your free agent market in your league. I would be curious to see who was up there.
Gotcha.
The rookies are gone for the most part. CJ Stroud's the best rookie. Gone. PJ Walker's not doing good. Bryce Young isn't doing the best.
Yeah.
Outside of rookies, you got Mac Jones. Stop it. You got my man on the Giants. Yeah, okay, but so I'm just saying.
Well, the guy from the Giants there, he gets sacked there, even though they won the last 2 games. Each game, he's probably got sacked 6+ times.
Right.
So
and then you got to look at what's available.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with the bye weeks, the injuries, and people already being picked, I mean, damn. And that's what fantasy football is.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go for yours on that one. Those are your quarterback recommendations for Week 13, 2023 season. Of course, NFL.us go to. Let's see who's next. I did not mean to do that, but I did it anyway, like a big dummy.
We're going to running backs. Gotcha.
Running backs. Start on Rashad White of the Bucks against Carolina. I got no debate against this.
No, against Carolina. It's like
I got their jersey on. Yes, I do. Carolina Panthers, y'all done pissed me off this season. I don't know what the hell y'all was thinking about getting rid of every damn body. I understand you had a playoff run. You get enough for Super Bowl run. You thought it was a good idea to rebuild. Right now, you're looking like shit.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely their season. Their season completely is dead in the water as far as that goes. There's
you're 1-10. You're 1-10.
Yep.
You haven't been this bad since George Seifert was the coach.
Yeah.
That. You're 1-15 with George Seifert. I remember that.
Well, there's team. I can honestly say Giants have been there, and they've come back to where they've actually afterwards to win the Super Bowl a couple of years after the rebuild. So this. Carolina Panthers season this year, they're going to be going into a rebuilding. They have to. This goes on the level of when the Saints were called the Aints, when they wear the paper. I'm surprised I haven't seen paper bags in the stadium when the Carolina's playing. But you got some diehard fans there that they're through thick and thin, and this is through the thick of it for Carolina.
Carolina fans are mad.
Yeah,
I expected it. I had high expectations based on the draft they had about 2 seasons ago. They drafted a lot of offensive players. I thought they were going to be good. All of this was around Christian McCaffrey. Then you get rid of Christian McCaffrey. After you got rid of everybody for Christian McCaffrey, y'all look ridiculous. I don't know what the hell y'all doing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What Carolina has done recently has been draft Cam Newton, and look what y'all did afterwards. He gave y'all a great one. People got tired of him. Okay, great. But Jesus, Carolina, y'all look ridiculous right now. Tony Pollard against the Seahawks, no question.
Oh, yeah. Tony had a good game. He had a good game.
Ladies and gentlemen, start Tony Pollard. Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's a game I watched. The Dallas Cowboys. I think we both picked Cowboys, and I was almost thinking in the first half. I think Seattle's going to run away with this game, and Dallas was able to hold their own. Pollard, he played good. Dak, he kept his composure and stuff like that, and they were able to. It was an overall good football game to watch.
Right. So we just call it for what it is. Tony Pollard, no question. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Ooh, I like
Wow,
this.
both of them.
Finally recommending starting Najee Harris, one of my favorite running backs in the NFL right now. Jalen Warren's been doing good. He has been doing good, seriously. So
would that be an indication starting both running backs that they're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers will be running on the Cardinals big time?
It's possible, but not to me yet. I'd have to see it to believe it.
Yeah,
that's what's. I know what can be. I know Najee Harris went off a couple weeks ago talking about he's tired of what's going on up there. So maybe they're going to let him loose.
I wonder who's ever making this prediction because you figure you're not going to have both of them in there, but they're going to be alternating. So that would give me the indication Pittsburgh plans on doing a running game on Cardinals.
Right. Pittsburgh might try. I got to see it happen.
Right.
Because of Najee Harris finally getting recommended to start, and Jalen Warren. Yeah, I said it. Devin Singletary. They recommend starting Devin Singletary of the Texans against the Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is power game number 2 today.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. You were saying
you may want to pay attention to this game.
Yeah.
Houston Texans are on fire, and Denver is on a resurgence. You may want to pay attention to this game.
This could have some wild card implications.
Yeah. This. I'll say playoff over wild card. We still got a couple of things going to happen.
Yeah.
I think both.
Yeah.
Not just the wild card, the playoffs. These they're both looking real good right now. Real good. You might want to check this out. If you need a deeper option, Jeff Wilson returned last week after a healthy scratch and played a third of the snaps for Miami, touching the ball 14 times. They also recommended Tyler Algier, Falcons running back. Yeah, that's not a question. He's I think he wants to maintain his place on the roster, or at least stay on the roster. Michael Carter is purely for deep league players, but he did split the snaps, carries, and passing game work with James Conner last week. Wow.
Yeah.
Check him out. Check him out. Stidhams. They recommend Joe Mixon at Jacksonville. I kind of disagree with this, and I want to tell you why.
Why is that? If
you don't have Joe Burrow to do a lot of the throwing, you got somebody to pitch the ball to the side, which Joe Mixon comes in to play with very well.
No, they want to sit. I wouldn't sit him. No, he's been playing too well. Even with their losses, he's been getting it done for Cincinnati as far as getting the yardage.
Next we got Javonte Adams of the Broncos at the Texans. Give me your thoughts on that. I got to help Jason out real quick if you don't mind.
My birthday party's in 7 days.
Yes, your birthday's party's in 7 days. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Holy smokes.
Let's see. Javon Williams. I got it, Tony. I got it.
Okay,
Javon Williams. Yep, no problem. Javon Williams for Denver, like Tony was saying, that's the game to watch against Houston. And I'm just trying to bring this up as far as his they say sit him. I haven't really followed too much with Denver. Let's see, Javon Williams' stats as far as that goes. He's projected to get 10 points, which isn't bad for a running back. He's been it's going to be higher than his average. His last couple of weeks, 7-5. He's had 17 and 15 back in week 10 and week 8. So, but Denver, they could, I don't know, depending on how, let me see how this lines up as far as the overall game for Denver. Let's see, Denver and Houston. Where is it? According to CBS. Seahawks, Cowboys, Atlanta Jets. We'll get to that. Tennessee, Denver Broncos. In terms of playoffs implications, this is a big game. Denver has won 5 in a row, so they're going to need a running. They're going to have to use a running back, and defenses have keys. Had key the turnaround. The Texans lost to the Jaguars last week in a big game, but they will bounce back and win a tight one. So CBS has the Texans winning. So, but the overall score 24-22, and so
And we're joined by
I,
Michael Bassett.
hey, Michael.
Hey
What's going
guys,
on,
how you
man?
doing?
We're good. We're good. We're good.
So Javon Williams, I think this is a big game. Is if this is their premier running back, I wouldn't be sitting him in this game. He's gonna, just like the last one. Are you gonna sit Joe Mixon for Cincinnati?
Let me kick on that if you don't mind. You know
Yeah,
what the
go ahead.
problem is? The problem is when people did the draft originally for fantasy football, all the running backs were taken. You have to grab who's left. And then on top of the injuries. He is actually a running back. I got what you're saying with his numbers and why you would sit him, but when you do a draft on fantasy, one of the first positions that are emptied are your running back. And they are taken. The running backs and tight ends, I think, were drafted the highest this season, in my opinion. A lot of leagues that I saw. And then the wide receivers and quarterbacks went afterwards. So this is going to be after the running backs are pretty much depleted, even in the free agent market and the waiver wire. Mike, we are on running backs. This is Siddums. Yeah, I would not sit Javonte Williams this week.
No.
Based on it said you as a narrative, but your thoughts, sir, please.
Like you said, the availability of backs mostly because of hamstrings and ankles, and it's pretty lean right now. So someone who might be a third string back may be gold because that's all that's available.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, the guys that are really good at fantasy football, they look at the people that are available, sometimes highly available, and anticipate what they're going to do because they're going to get more of the share. And the touches where they usually don't, they're not considered that. And we've talked about this before. If you're paying somebody 10 to 15 million, you got to give them the touches. If you're paying a new guy, maybe a million or more, he's not going to be priority. So for a lot of people too at this time of the year, they're fighting for their jobs next year. And people forget that too. What they're doing right now is a resume to all the other teams, especially if
I
you're
100% agree. Might be some people as well.
With Michael saying that, it'll be interesting this next season with the USFL and the other football league there.
XFL.
XFL, as far as a lot of those players moving up into the NFL next season.
And then they're going to Europe as well. So Europe may be opening up some teams. I don't know about everybody else out there. The Denver Broncos going to need everybody on deck. They say sit him. I keep an eye on him and certainly get to pull somebody in. AJ Dillon. They say sit AJ Dillon against the Chiefs. Oh my goodness gracious. So he's been scoring major points.
Down here.
Okay. So you're looking for a floor around fantasy. And the ceiling's around 11. The juice is just not worth the squeeze, especially not in a matchup like this. Yeah. This is a serious matchup. AJ Dillon has not been getting major numbers. I cannot tell anybody out there to sit him.
His projected points are 10 points, which I would say he has.
It's a minimum. It's a minimum. You want that, but the problem is him and Aaron Jones, the two running backs in Green Bay, monsters. They're not putting up numbers, but both of them are monsters. You do want them on your roster, regardless of the numbers. I'll be wrong in this. And even up against the Chiefs, you need everybody ready. Maybe he'll be blocking. Hopefully he'll get the ball. I doubt if he'll break through, but if he does, you kind of want to have him. If anybody makes any touchdowns, you want them on your roster. AJ Dillon is definitely available and able to get a touchdown, even against the Chiefs. Michael, your thoughts, please.
There are a lot of people, the wise guys, who believe that there's a very good chance there could be an upset with this game.
Mm-hmm.
That the Chiefs will not really be at their top level because a lot of times you end up sleeping on teams you think aren't as good as they used to be, And if you look at this team in the last 2 to 3 weeks, they're really showing momentum. Things are starting to work. And I've talked about this, I think, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. The teams that have younger players, they heal better. And they're starting to figure out what they're doing. They haven't had as much time to
Right,
figure out the game.
right.
So I'm like you. I think all the weapons you can have, and you're going to regret it because let's be real. The Chiefs, one part of their game that has been on defense at times is they can run. I've seen teams be able to run with the Chiefs. So
Um, they keep saying the Chiefs are dwindling. I doubt it. I'm really going to be on the other side of that. I don't think they're dwindling. People have to catch them. That's all it is to it. They're the champions. The Eagles are the NFC champions. You have to catch both of those teams to be better, and people aren't really doing it. Denver did it that one game. Mahomes was sick.
yeah,
We got behind high, and that's all it is to it. So, nah, I'm not convinced that they're dwindling until they lose in the playoffs. I'm not having it personally. Chuba Herbert of the
Yeah,
Panthers against the
yeah.
Bucks, they said sit him. The
yeah.
only reason Chuba Herbert is because the Carolina Panthers aren't doing good. Plain and simple.
I,
Herbert scored a
I
touchdown
don't
last
think
week.
they're dwindling, Tony. I think the competition has been risen. I think you're seeing the 49ers right now are coming off a rest, right? I don't
So,
know if I don't
and
know if I don't know if many teams right now could beat the roster of the 49ers. It's pretty in depth.
Agreed. Agreed.
with that point that Michael said about rested Kansas City and Green Bay, they played Thanksgiving, so they've had a lot of rest. So that could be the edge that Michael's talking about, that they could possibly win this game, because Michael's been right before as far as Kansas City going over to Europe, and they got their, or no, was it the Bills? They got their ass hits handed to them because the Panthers or the Jaguars were already over there, acclimated and rested. Green Bay has improved in offense with Jordan Love, which has kept them in the game. The Chiefs find a way late to win. They've CBS has this scored at 24-23, so that's an indication that this could be another good game.
Right. So my thing, the Chiefs and was that Green Bay? Yeah. I think Chiefs gonna win that
Yeah,
game. Yeah. That's the
I
Chiefs gonna win that
think
game.
they're going to pull it out, but like Michael said, I think Green Bay, it's going to be like that. I would have never thought, you look at the Thursday night game, okay, everybody was picking Dallas, and it's just like, whoa, wait a minute. The Seattle came on and, just scoring, and it just like, I think it's going to be another one where right last minute, the Chiefs will win it like the Dallas did Thursday.
Do you know what we never talk about, and we should maybe in the future, is that when the games start to get to high scores, you got to remember that the defenses are now into multiple plays.
Yes, they are.
Sometimes the equivalent of 2 games in one game. And we have to remember that Philadelphia right now is exhausted because that was a bloodbath with the Bills. That was one of the most exciting games I've seen in a long time. And did you see how the 49ers just easily won against the Seahawks?
They got to see her
Easily.
number. The 49ers are a complete team. I've been saying this since they went to the Super Bowl recently.
Yeah.
The whole size. It's scary.
Yeah.
It is very scary how complete they are. Chuba Hubbard, sit him against the Bucks. Like I said, Carolina's not going to do too good.
Yeah, that's
Carolina
a
pulls-
no-brainer. Yeah.
If Carolina pulls off, it'll be a miracle.
Yeah.
Mind you, they got great players. They're just not damn winning. Roster is great. It's also young. They're just not.
They're not
winning.
gelling. They're not in sync.
They're not in sync. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your running back recommendations. Week 13, 2020, NFL.com. Let me get to the. There we go. Wide receiver is us since he came in late. Mike, thank you for being here. My apologies for late introduction. Bathurst, the man who started all this madness. He ain't want to give me credit, but damn it, he's the one that's got me here talking to everybody. Because most people follow me. I met through hanging out with this joker. How you got an international connection and we're still good 2 years later? Y'all might want to catch up. Stop talking about my damn show. Get your asses. I said it. Mike, we got the wide receivers.
We're always open to having, other people who believe they know more than we do to come up and join us, which is, oh, look at that. And you even spelled my name right. It's beautiful. It's good. I'm not a big fan of Michael Pittman, but he is steady Eddie.
Go for it.
He's definitely a steady Eddie.
Michael
And
Pittman is
honestly, right now, who else do they have on the Colts? So Josh Downs, I love. So I personally would go with Josh Downs anytime. So are you saying one or the other, or
They're recommending both. This isn't me. This is NFL.com's recommendation. They're recommending both of them to be on your roster.
They have to be because there is no other weapons. That's
I don't even know what's going on with the Titans. I'm not sure what's happening with them. I think they're falling apart. I hate to say it too. I think they're falling apart.
Why do you say that, sir?
They talking about trading Derrick Henry, which is insanity to me. Ryan Tannehill isn't doing the best, but he's got some years under his belt. And look at their record.
Here's the thing with Derrick Henry, and we've talked about this before. You have to, with backs, if you're overpaying, that means you're probably not getting other pieces for your team. There's only so much pie. The other thing is we both know this year has been awful for running backs. It seems like a lot of the teams know how now to defend, especially the larger backs.
Mm-hmm.
The Eric Campbells, I used to call them. They would.
Oh, there's a name from the past.
Yeah, the type that would truck right over you.
Wait. Did you say Eric Campbell?
Yeah.
And
Earl, sorry.
Earl, yeah.
You got two, and I know you out and about. I did post a link out there on
Morning, Brian.
Put it out on the league chat if you're available. But I know you out and about, ladies and gentlemen. Happy belated birthday. His birthday was just the other day.
Yay!
Shout out to quite a few of us.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy Vegas. We talked to him the other day.
Come up here. You can finish being hungover. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need you to go somewhere else while you're out. Too much for you to do in Vegas. If you don't make it up here today, I get your birthday. Honestly, man, straight up. I hope you.
Brian, we need you here. Don't listen to a word he says.
That damn.
And you know what? Real soldiers move forward. You do.
Hey, Tony, if I could chime in on Pittman and Downs, this is another one that what we had with the wide receivers and stuff. That is this an indication that tennis or the Colts are going to do well? This is a wide receivers. They can be in at both times, but I just, for some reason, after we went through the running backs, is this an indication that the Colts will be primarily in the passing game with both of them starting?
They can do both, honestly. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with the Titans, but Indies should be a favorite in this game. And I know they popped up earlier with the Indianapolis and Tennessee game, and a couple of players recommended, but I think Indies got this one. There's no problem. Calvin Ridley against the Bengals. Now, didn't I tell y'all a couple of weeks ago that he was going to get 2 touchdowns in this one game, and he got them?
You did.
He's one of the hottest players in the league right now.
That man is a former Atlanta Falcon wide receiver. Taking time over.
He's a football player.
He's one of them.
Oh, Jason's even commenting on him.
What did you mean by that?
He's hot as far as player of the team. He's getting numbers, and he'll get you hyped and he'll get you pumped when you're playing the game because you want to perform us. Okay. Anyway,
that was funny. Yeah,
I do this all day. Calvin Ridley's a former Atlanta Falcon wide receiver. It used to be him and Julio Jones. They were hell on the roster and in the game. You want him. I don't care what's going on out there. Last season was not the best. This season didn't start off too well. He's good right now. I recommend getting him on your roster, gentlemen. And the Bengals, once again, Joe Burrows. We don't know what the hell's going to happen with the Bengals. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, I was just going to say the projections are he's got a low projections of 8 points, where last week he had 16, 17 points. And I wonder if that's an indication that the Cincinnati team might be, the experts are saying that might keep the Jacksonville at bay defensive
Right.
wise.
Are we still talking about Pittman at all?
No, we're not. We actually passed Pittman. I was just throwing the comments up.
Yeah, we're just talking about Riddle here. As far
Okay,
as,
I had no idea he was 6'4", so that might be part of the reason why he's able to get, even though because everyone complains how slow he is.
I got a height of 6'1" though, Michael. What I'm looking at, where are you seeing 6'4"?
I got 6'4" on Pro Football Reference. Maybe I can't trust it.
This is Fantasy Pros. They got him 28. College is Alabama, 190 pounds, 6'1".
You know what we need to do? I think we need to measure him.
Okay. Well, Tony already found a typo in the NFL verbiage
I
here.
read the narrative. Yeah, I read the narrative. Even though I'm talking about, I read the narrative that's on the screen. So, I'm seeing what they're saying against him. I'm seeing what they're saying in his favor too. Actually, he's doing pretty good. I definitely start Calvin Ridley. And Brian, I agree. We're starting Calvin Ridley hands down. If you got him,
I would too. Yeah.
Start, especially against the Bengals this week. Oh my God, Cortland Sutton of the Broncos against Texas. You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
With
the Broncos.
Russell,
this is going to be.
You got Russell throwing the ball. I think so. Yes.
It's the second best game of the day right now, to me. And Mike, you missed this earlier. The 49ers and the Eagles is pretty much the NFC Championship game. All be on deck with this one. You also got Denver going against Houston. Houston has been on fire this season and has resurged, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I highly recommend.
Yeah, you've been saying that for weeks.
Well, right now, yeah. What I saw a couple weeks ago with Russell Wilson, yeah, he's back. He's back. And look at who the because this is going to be a great game. It's great for both franchises, especially with a lot of doubt and negativity against them over the past couple of years apiece. I highly recommend this game personally. But Cortland, you have to. Just you run through the numbers later. Do me a favor. Any and every star on both teams, start them.
Yeah. He's been exceptionally good the last couple of weeks.
Go for it, Mike. Yeah. Go for it.
No, just he looks like one of those treasures that nobody knew about because the team was so horrible at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And we had kind of lost faith in them. And then I've been watching the highlights recently, and I was like, wow, this guy's got the skills to pay the bills. He really is something.
He's been pretty good for a couple of years. Just wasn't getting out of numbers. He is a good wide receiver. A man in the position. Let me go ahead and say it like that. Cortland Sutton's okay. You want him on your roster. You just want to see him get numbers. As a big getting numbers. There's nothing against him. Now he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball. Y'all better get ready. Him and Jerry Jeudy should have a great game today. But Brian, and you got to jump in on this. I forgot about the Texas defense.
Oh God! Here we go.
Steve Rice of the Chiefs start him against Green Bay Packers. We talked about him earlier, Mike. If you want to throw anything in, they're going to Kansas City Chiefs against the Packers.
I think KC's in trouble.
Go for it.
I really do. I think a lot of their weapons are like not firing on all cylinders. Like this on any other team, Rashee Rice would be a second wide receiver, not a first. He might not even, he might get 5 or 6 touches. They're relying too much on what I would say is a suffering core of weapons. The running back situation is pretty good. I'll agree with that. Their defense is keeping them in the game, but they really need to in the next draft get some fresh new weapons that are exciting, that can help them in the next 3 to 5 years. And if they're going to lose this year, it's going to be because they depended too much on things that once were. That's the nicest way of saying it.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go the opposite. I think this kid's going to have a good game because his last several games. Last week against Las Vegas, he exploded with 8 receptions, 107 yards. He had 16 points. the projection for this game is low, so that's telling me maybe it's an indication this is going to be a good game, like you said. But I've seen this kid play. I think this kid is a premier receiver, and I think Mahomes is going to be going to this guy, and he has some speed too. He can run. So
But
go ahead, Mike.
he's not like a Tank Dell though.
Keep going.
He just is. He just isn't. He
No, I
he
just yeah.
he doesn't have the. His routes are not great. They're okay. Will he be good in a couple of years? Maybe if he stays, away from the injuries.
I think he's been playing fabulous this year, though, as far as a receiver. Wouldn't you say, though?
He is one of the better B grade receivers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, no,
Okay.
there's far more talented people.
On the I'm just talking Kansas City. I'm not talking about other teams.
You have to play him if it's fantasy.
But I'm just saying, in Kansas City, he's one of their premier guys to go to. After what I'm seeing, this kid is capable of doing, and once you see his speed, he has potential. Now routes, he's trying to keep the routes. There's a lot of things going on the play, so the routes, that's one thing, but I just see a lot of potential in this kid right here from what I've seen him. The overall demise, as far as what you're talking about, Kansas City, well, that's the whole team as a whole. But I think this kid is a premier. From what I've seen him play, it's just like every time I watch Kansas City, this kid's right in the mix of it.
See, what they thought was going to happen was Sky Moore was going to take over the world. That's what they thought was going to.
Excellent point, Michael. Thank you for that. Excellent point. You are correct on that. I do remember that.
He was supposed to be number one, or she was. Maybe something would happen, and then they'd be able to rely on some of the steadfast truths.
That's true. Yep. That's true.
And Travis, let's be honest, has been distracted. He's got a billionaire. He's got a billionaire girlfriend.
That's real world life.
So what? That's motivation to do better.
No, listen, Tony. If your girlfriend had $1 billion and she wants you to be around, and wants you to be the father of her children,
No, in the comments, Michael, real quick, Brian Brian, are you referring to Rice having basic wide receiver skills? I guess that he made the comment, so I'm just, if that's directed at Rice, maybe Brian's seen something. Okay, so maybe I'm outvoted there. I guess it's
no, it's not an outvoted thing. Of what you're saying, you are 1,000% correct. They just don't have anything else.
Yeah,
Travis is expected after 10 years of wear and tear on his body to still be this magic man that bails out Patrick. And if you notice, Patrick is not willing to have his legs shattered again.
No,
like he did last year.
He's got too much investment. He's got
what?
Rich, let me throw this out there. I apologize. Let me throw this out there. What you're saying about the billionaire girlfriend, and this happened with Brady. Mind you, the both of you are still going to be busy maintaining your business and making your money. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a distraction. I think the two of them will have, and I'll say this myself. If you're doing good and you're significant other for today's generation, if you and your significant other are doing good, you look forward to the time the two of you are going to spend together, and you have to schedule it.
I
so
agree.
this distraction is kind of against a little bit of the free time he used to have, but he's doing not only football, he's with one of the biggest stars in the world. He also has a podcast. But what I've noticed is they're still
number one. Number one.
Yeah, we're trying to catch those jokers. That's my point. They are still happy.
I would love his crumbs. What are you talking about?
Exactly, Michael.
His crumbs I'd be happy with.
I think the two of them used to having their own world. The two of them used to having their own business. And a lot of the rich folks that we have seen who have things going on, they do make time for each other. So when they do, which will be in the off season, I think it's going to be great. Like you said, if he's got the wear and tear on his body, I think he's working on his retirement aspect, which would be real good right now. Him and her would be very comfortable, retired, very secure with raising the family, and very available to be parents. That would be the only debate I have against you. I get what you're saying, because let me tell you something. If I had a billionaire girlfriend and I was already a millionaire in football, I wouldn't give a damn what none of y'all say because she'll be my motivation to know that even if I get hurt, I got
Absolutely.
somebody to take care of me.
And number one podcast. Do you know how many networks would pay major money for him and his brother
Yeah,
to be analysts now?
and they're
You
gonna
gotta
take.
you
They
gotta
pretty
know
much
when to
chasing.
hold them, know when to fold them.
They're both chasing the Mannings. There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Let me get back
Yes.
to this because Mike gonna have me talking crap all day. That's why I do it on his broadcast. Start the
Well,
stream like
that's
this.
why it's good I show up late because that's
It
not
is
a
good.
two
It is
hour.
good. If you need a streamer, you want Demario Douglas, Patriots wide receiver. I don't. Jaden Reed, sure. Debo Samuel, absolutely. Let me tell you something about Debo Samuel. He was on the San Francisco 49ers when they went to the Super Bowl. I had him on my roster. He did good till he got hurt. And I used to have him and Brandon Ayuk and Rashid Mostert. You want Debo Samuel on your roster. If you need a streamer, ladies and gentlemen, go get Debo Samuel. We got Chargers wide receiver Joshua Palmer, who has been replicate cool. Greg Dortch of the Cardinals. I did catch his name a while ago. He hasn't been putting up numbers, but he is kind of on my watch list, if you will, as a player. The Cardinals players aren't necessarily getting numbers. I've recruited some decent players. We're just waiting for their breakouts, and I'm very guilty of that. If Michael Wilson is out again, Dortch will play. Michael Wilson's another wide receiver. Saints wide receiver, A.T. Perry. I have nothing on this guy. I have nothing on this guy.
Which one? I'm sorry.
A.T. Perry, Saints wide receiver. I know nothing on him. Chris Olave, I have seen him. He's been on my Rashid Shaheed. I have him on my radar as well. See, the Saints got some players.
Yeah, but the
He's
two
the
on the
season
bottom
starter.
there have been on and off injured all year.
Yes, that's what's
Yeah.
happening. That's exactly what's happening. That's why you gotta keep your eyes on a lot of players, not just the superstars, ladies and gentlemen. When you do fantasy football, you are setting up your roster actual season. You also have to have a backup plan. Knowing all these players, watching all these teams is how it comes down to play. This is what's happening. This is the confusion. Take your time with it. Listen to what I'm saying. Go back and look into it yourselves. We have it live for you to check it out during the week. It takes more than just one season to get used to this. Take it from me. I've been doing this since 2009. If people still talk about me, even though I do have 2 championships and I'm working on my third year, I said it. Now, what we got next? Sit-ups. They say K. Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson
Oh
Smith.
no
No,
way!
no way. If you watch this
No.
game, Tony, this is Metcalf. He was phenomenal, even though
You
they
are
lost.
correct. As you watch the game, you are correct because this
He
game
was
was Thursday
awesome.
night. Go ahead and make this clear. Now, say you did not watch the game Thursday night. This would
I
have
would
been
have
what I
played
would
him.
have told you.
I still would have
I would have
Yeah.
played all
Metcalf
three
and
of them
Lockett
because they are
definitely
three,
for a go. I would not have
they are
sat
the
them
three
down.
players on offense for the Seahawks, and you are going up against the biggest defense in Dallas. You had to play them win or lose. You was willing to take this L as grown men. So I agree with the both of you. There's no damn way I would have sat them down. I would have disputed this narrative. I would have disputed
Can
this
I
recommendation.
bring up one point?
Absolutely. Go. I'm done. Go ahead.
The fastest run this year recorded on the field. Who was it?
Probably DK Metcalf.
You got it.
Of
22,
course.
22 miles an hour. That first run he had.
I
At
think I might have broke 18 myself when I was a teenager running from the police. But go ahead.
good to know. Good to know. That
I
that
think I might have broke 18.
that'll enrich the sponsors
Let
for
me tell you
sure.
something. If you watch The Flash, he used to have these sounds when his feet would hit the ground. It was like doom, 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 it goes, zzz. That was me. I was trying to do the sound effect because
What does Brian mean here? Take names. There are many players that are good but overlooked.
basically what
Well,
I was saying. How you gotta
this
keep
might
your
be an
eye-
example of it. They're overlooking the greatness of Metcalf and Lockett. I would have never have sat them if
Geno
I
Smith
had
was
them.
injured. Fair point, Brian. I appreciate you telling me that. See, that's
But he was amazing. He
He
was
was.
freaking
He was.
amazing. He was
Geno's
throwing
good.
he was throwing dimes. He was throwing things literally in a basket.
Yeah,
Like
Geno's good. He's feeling good under Pete Carroll. That's why I call him the Phoenix.
he had a bad
He's
hair
been
day.
deserved.
That was the only thing I noticed.
He had a bad hair day.
He had a bad hair day.
You noticed that
Yeah,
with a helmet on?
yeah. No, after he had helmet head.
Oh, I'm about
After.
to say, what the hell you looking for?
Okay.
Anyway, they did good. We can throw this out the window because they got their numbers. Check the numbers on DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith Jigba from Thursday night's game. This most recently Thursday night's
That
game.
is that's an explosive back. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sit 'em. Yeah, we still on sit 'em. Drake London of the Falcons against the Jets. The only reason I would say this is because of the Jets defense. Mind you, Drake London is a great wide receiver. but Jets defense probably would stop him. And if you got Sauce Gardner,
That's the only thing positive this year after Aaron went down is their defense as far as that goes.
Yes.
Everything else is
Yes.
not really jiving.
A lot of people
Yes.
say because that Aaron's there and he's been practicing with them, that
He's been coaching them.
that they're feeling hopeful again.
Yes.
So it's amazing how much a little hopeful can help.
That's the leadership that Aaron brings to the table.
Yes.
I think he brings an aspect of mentorship.
Oh,
Definitely
absolutely.
Zach Wilson. I've noticed when he was on the sideline, Zach Wilson played better.
Yeah.
Somebody will have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm seeing the hell out of that one. He's on the sideline. Zach Wilson plays great. That team seems crunk.
Yeah.
They truly do. Somebody will have to let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, Drake London sit him against the Jets. That's because of the defense. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Pretty much.
Have you heard the latest though with Aaron? There's all these networks saying that he wasn't fully injured. And
I didn't. That one.
Yeah, and that it was
wow.
and that there's no way that he could have that kind of recovery that quick, that he could be running around, and that he's just an attention hog. And look, they're really being mean.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't think he's done anything to make it. Like, he could have milked that injury. Like, he could have been on every network going, I did this, I did. He wasn't doing any of that. What do you think, Tony? Are they being unfair, or is this real?
I'm with them. There's no way he should have came back this fast, number one. Number two, this has got to be the second or third athlete with this same type of injury in more than one sport. Quite frankly, I see a pattern.
In what ways, sir?
He had the same Achilles injury Kevin Durant had.
Okay.
Somebody else had it too. I forgot the damn name, but Kevin Durant had the same injury for the same video and area, and same issue happened.
Yeah. A lot of tennis players get it too.
I haven't seen the tennis players get it. I've seen football players and basketball players get it. Somebody else got it. It's not hitting me right now, but somebody else had that same type of injury, and Kevin Durant took us to recover. These others are coming back rather rapidly. London may have really good. Yeah, Brian, I think Drake London will have a decent game, but they also put it in the narrative. He's going to be in Sauce Gardner's territory. That's not good. This is not good at all. And both of them were pretty much around the same time being in the L. So that's going to be a serious matchup. I might catch that game today. But y'all might want to watch out for that. Next, we got DeAndre Hopkins of the Titans, the Colts. I'm kind of against this.
No.
I'm kind of against this. Go.
No, it's just he is so underrated.
Underrated. And you said that before too. You've said that before.
And here's again where the Chiefs fell asleep. They had an opportunity to get him, and they didn't do it. No, it's just sometimes you see teams that are hoping for miracles when all you need to do is spend a couple bucks, and it wouldn't cost much to get him, honestly, in comparison to some other talent, and he could have been a great asset to Kansas City. But the problem is there's only so much money to go around, and I think when they bumped up, unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes' salary, there was less money. And even Patrick talked about, through endorsements, I would rather have better key players around me than what's going on.
Do you think he could have had a say in that, though? Or was that after
in
the
him
fact?
Getting paid? I think.
Well, if he would have said, because didn't Aaron take a pay cut to come to the Jets to have players that he wanted, or there's some top.
You're right. No, Aaron did.
No, I wonder if he said Brady. That after the fact. Yeah, maybe it was Brady. They took.
Brady for years said, "Listen, I don't care if you pay me half of what I'm worth. I need to be protected, so I can keep playing."
He wants that. He wants that ring, so he wants the tools there. So he's making
he wants
an investment.
The protection too.
He's making an investment in his protection. Exactly.
His health. If you think about it, it's life insurance.
Absolutely, his health. Aaron Rodgers did, I think, change his structure his contract to get
It was $20 million, buddy.
I think it was Lazard and somebody else. I forgot who the other one was.
Yeah.
Two of the players he wanted to be there with him, and I don't know if he restructured it or the Jets did something to get him. But players have been known to do that.
Yeah,
that's why people love Brady.
Well, it depends if the player has the control that they're able to do that. The team say, "No, we're going to pay you this. You're not going to dictate how we play."
Aaron Rodgers had the control. He had
his statute. He probably, and Brady's statute. They're going to say that, I would figure Mahomes. It's after the fact. You can always say it after the fact, but where was the comment before that? Before the season started?
Well, Mahomes, I guess after he got that first one, I think he made that move. Then we got that $400 million. He can't tell me nothing. He making killing off incentives. He's running them State Farm commercials. But DeAndre Hopkins,
No, they do. He's right.
Yeah.
He's some of these athletes, though.
Mhm.
Like we have no idea the money they're making.
You said that before.
The money the
Yes.
money they report and the money
Right.
they get. I told you what the Kelseys were saying. Please stop sending us stuff.
Yeah.
We have nowhere to put it.
Mhm.
Every company. So you and I would be going, how much do you think we can get for this, Tony? I don't know. Well, we got some.
You know how much it would take for me to tell y'all stop sending. Some of
You,
y'all.
you would have a warehouse as long as you made money. You would bring. Okay, what do you think we
I'm
can
just
get for
saying.
that?
DeAndre Hopkins,
I
ladies and
know.
gentlemen, start him. Start him. Start him. I know he's against the Colts. I know whose quarterback is. I know what everybody's saying against Titans. I'm starting DeAndre Hopkins. The man is
Oh.
good. They say sit Amari Cooper, the
Yes.
Browns against the Rams. I have to.
Yeah.
He's injured,
Now-
isn't he? He's just
now-
off injury.
Let's
And
look
that-
at this properly. Let's look at this properly. Cooper has just scored 11 fantasy points combined in 2 games since Deshaun Watson went down for the season. Last week, he just put up 3.6 points before exiting with the rib injury. There goes Mike's point. In 6 total games without Watson, Cooper's averaging just 7.9 fantasy points, has a grand total of 0 touchdowns. The Rams are not normally a matchup to avoid, but given the quarterback play and how it has impacted Cooper in fantasy, I would get away. I agree with this. However, and I'm going to say this again, I know this man is a wide receiver. You want him when he gets in the end zone. I really do expect him to get in the end zone one good time this game.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say it myself. Amari Cooper's going to have a touchdown today.
But that's the Browns lover in you, right?
Yeah, but Amari Cooper's going to have a touchdown today against the
Oh,
Rams.
good. Oh,
Go ahead
good.
and
I
say
like that.
You think he will?
I'm going to call it. Yes, he'll have a touchdown.
Well, just so you know, last week against Carolina, he had 3 receptions for only 49 yards. He only had 5 points. So I don't have any faith. I would have to agree with the Stidham as far as
He's got a rib injury. I hear you. He's been in the league for a while now. He has some
Yeah.
age on him. He has
But-
some wear and tear on him from his time with the Raiders. He is a former Alabama wide receiver. I expect him to have a
And there may be some, as far as what you're saying, I could see because on the other side, the week prior to Carolina against Jacksonville, he did have a touchdown with 4 receptions, and he did get 11 points. But last week, just against the worst team in the NFL, he tanked. So maybe it takes that type of a team. LA's not no slough compared to Carolina, so maybe that intensity might bring the best out, and you might, your projection might be right. So we'll be watching that one, Tony. I got that written down.
Write it down. Yeah, I think he still wants to show his relevance even with a rib injury. I'd have to start him. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your wide receiver recommendations for Week 13, 2023 season. Of course, NFL.com. I'm going to Mike's favorite area, tight ends.
Woo! I'll tell you, beside your inappropriate comment there, that position has changed the league.
Pause.
Yes, and you can take that in many ways. We'll leave that alone. All right.
I knew you wanted to throw something in there. I know you did. I'm not even going to lie to you all. By now, this should be elementary. I want to see who they recommended, but this should be elementary. Trey McBride. Mike, I think you talked about him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I like him. I would.
Go for it. You should start him against the Steelers.
Oh, absolutely. And, the Cardinals, if they are even remotely undervalued and underestimated, they have Kyle Murray now. And here's the thing with Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, their big thing is let's get the quarterback. Let's annihilate him. Problem is with Kyle Murray, when he's scrambling, he has an average of almost 10 yards a carry.
Scrambling,
which is a first down, and we'll be right back. All right.
Rich got to step out for a second. It's real good. All right. Trey McBride has been on my radar based on what you've told me.
Yeah.
I think he's putting up decent numbers. I think he'll get decent numbers. Let me say that better. I just don't know about this game. I really don't. Matter of fact, let me throw this out there. I was just watching ESPN earlier this morning. There was Zach Ertz being claimed off of waivers. He's going to get released. Zach Ertz used to be on the Eagles. He was with them when they got their first Super Bowl. He has the option to go back. I think Zach Ertz is about to retire.
I think you're going to see a lot of people retire this year.
Yeah, and he's got close to a decade under him, I think. So Zach Ertz is probably going to wind it down. He's one of the better tight ends in the league that doesn't get enough numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great no pun intended. All
Yeah,
jokes aside.
I know. Let's leave that alone.
Yeah. Taysom Hill of the Saints, I gotta start him. Dual threat. Brian has him as a triple threat. I think Brian, you had him wide receiver one time, I think, or running back. I know I had him as tight end and quarterback. I've seen him on the roster as that. I think you've seen him as running back or wide receiver on top of one of those. Brian, you have to let me know. But even against the Lions are really on a tear, and they are on a hunger for more. Big ups to the Detroit Lions this season and last season.
Well, their pride is hurt.
For what?
They're from the last game. They did not show up.
This is on Amari Cooper. He's right. This is on Amari Cooper. You're right, Brian. But go ahead, Rich. I mean, Mike. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. I think this will be, believe it or not, one of the more entertaining games, even though people think it's going to be a sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about before, there is so much going on with the Saints. Like there's a lot of internal turmoil, and I think there are a lot of players right now that are like, I got to feed my family. I've got to have my best.
I think a lot of players are saying they want to be around for their families.
Right.
The families are fed, but they want to be around. Imagine you and I played 30, 40 years ago till we couldn't anymore, and we weren't able to be there for our children the way that we want to be.
Yeah.
I actually know a guy I worked with. He was a tight end at Temple.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. And he had his son after I had mine.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about our boys playing football. He said he didn't want his son to play football. He's thinking about all the injuries and the surgeries he's still going through today. He doesn't want his son going through that. So I respect that. That's the truth. When I took Jason out there to play, Jason said he didn't want to play him. I said, I'm not going to make you. He got out there. He hurt himself. He didn't hurt himself, but he was pushing himself.
Yeah.
To the point where he was already through with
it. Did you know that most of the money is on Detroit right now?
Yes.
And it hasn't moved?
There's no faith in the Saints. And Detroit is new money as far as gambling. They are a strong favorite. Now, regular season, they're great. It's the playoffs they're going to start losing faith. People are really going to get real shaky with the Lions when the playoffs come because they haven't won a playoff game.
And the game that we were just talking about with Pittsburgh, they're highly favored. I think that might be a good game to bet on because I think it's going to be closer than they think.
Gotcha. Brian says Taysom Hill plays 5 positions. Quite frankly, let's go ahead and throw this out there. Imagine Taysom Hill and Christian McCaffrey on the same team. That would be absolute madness. Maybe one team needs to make that happen. Baby, glad I'm on the team. It'd be a damn mess. Rich, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I just had to use the facility. This guy's a switchblade, as Brian used to say. Said. So I would definitely. This is a definite start. This guy.
Gotcha. Who we got next? Evan Ingram of the Jaguars against the Bengals. No brainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's top.
Cincinnati's a mess.
They are.
I feel bad for them.
Naturally,
Michael, do you think they're going to still make the playoffs though? Michael?
No,
you don't think so. You don't think
they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's such a major, like they've been talking about this all week that there's really about 6 or 8 quarterbacks that are elite, and that's it. And you and I could probably name them, and it's going to be a wild ride. And at the beginning of we got Des here. We are wondering.
Des, how you doing, lady? Thank you for coming through.
Why there isn't the depth? After all these years, you would think there would be more depth. There just isn't. There are really elite quarterbacks. They were saying the other day there are a whole bunch of guys that can throw the ball far, but they can't throw it into a basket far. And that's what you need. You need guys that are like, and have a real sense of the game within 3 seconds. Think about that. Think about you got these guys that want to just grind you into the ground. How tough you'd have to be mentally.
Stephen A. Smith used to always say you have illegal to assault somebody.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is. You can legal somebody, and that's how dangerous everybody is out there. So I get it. Evan Ingram, I gotta start him. Dalton Schultz, I gotta start him. Let's just. I'm not gonna be long in the category. Any questions on this?
No, 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 no. This is
Rich,
cool.
Rich.
Yes.
Dalton Schultz against the Broncos. Do you have any?
Oh, that's a definite start. You're talking the first couple of these selections. They're prime tight ends. I'd say start them.
Here's the most exciting thing we've heard in a long time. Taylor Swift will be at the game tomorrow. Nobody's distracted here.
You mean
just become the Entertainment Tonight version of this show. Thank you very much. If you need a stream,
Entertainment Today
of the Steelers against the Cardinals. Pat Firemouth actually earlier this season, I had him on my roster and dropped him. I thought he was out.
He was out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was out. I think he's back.
I dropped him. If he's back, good. He's a good tight end. I have no problem with anybody who needs to start him. I highly recommend it. He doesn't get a lot of bursts, but he'll mess around and get an end zone touch. He'll get a red zone touchdown every now and then.
He's a physical presence. He's a physical presence.
The man's a beast.
Yeah, and he is not afraid to get right in. Like I've seen where there's 3 people trying to take him down. It's good.
Yeah. Now, something just caught my attention. Let me throw this out there. Streaming options. Buccaneers tight end K.Dot has proven to be safe floor play. 8 fantasy points each of his 2 last games. That's good. Juwan Johnson ran a team route last week for New Orleans and fought 4 for 7 for 45 yards. Not bad. As notable takes on him above. The Saints wide receivers are extremely banged up. There you go, which can mean added volume going the way of the tight ends. Now, this is the kicker. Jets tight end Tyler Conklin is an option for those in deeper leagues. He saw 5 targets last week, catching 4 of them for 33 yards. Now he gets the Falcons, who have allowed the 5th most yards to tight ends this season. Jets tight ends don't get the ball like this. And I keep saying this.
But it's happening now more in the league. It really is.
Recommend him getting the ball. That's crazy. Brian, ready with you there. Sorry I caught this late, but yes, I agree with that.
Is there a reason we're not talking about Matt Canada?
Yeah, he hasn't come up yet. We're not talking.
He's right above there. He's right above there.
We're not going random. We're just going with what they're saying. In the Steelers game without Matt Canada, Pat Freiermuth put up a career high 120 yards, while the floor has been super low previously. Freiermuth's breakup last week simply cannot be ignored. He saw a team high 11 targets, which is amazing for any pass catcher, let alone a tight end on many waiver wires. There you go. He's a great streaming option that can quickly work his way back into must-start tight end status if he's featured in his new look offense. He's going to be a must-start when he's healthy. His ass was just inactive a month ago. No.
So do you believe, and I'm going to ask the room this, and have you noticed a huge change with the Steelers since Mr. Canada is gone?
That was one change. The other change is since Najee Harris said he's tired of what's going on out there. I'll say that.
He looked great. He looked great last week.
You better keep your eyes on that. I keep telling everybody he's the new Derrick Henry.
No, he looked fresh.
He is the new Derrick Henry, and I'm keeping him on my roster, win or damn lose. Period. Sit him. Sit Tyler Higbee of the Rams against the Browns. I wouldn't, but why would they say that? Sitting a team off the game of the season sounds crazy. But looking at Higbee's game logs, last week's 2-touchdown performance was really a fluke. It was his first time topping double figures since Cooper Kupp returned. Facts. And he had just 29 yards. He still has yet to reach 50 yards in a game with Kupp back. It was also Higbee's first game with a touchdown all year. Now he gets the Browns, who have allowed just 227 yards to tight ends, but on the entire season, by far the fewest in the NFL.
I would not sit him. Do you know why?
Yes, go ahead.
Puka Nacua, am I saying that right? Is not 100%. He's not saying he's not doing as well. I always feel like I'm saying a Disney name when I say his name.
Right.
And Cooper Kupp is a mess this year. He is not remotely the same player this year. He's been constantly injured, so they need all the weapons they can get.
Well, isn't Cooper their primary tight end though for LA?
Cooper's a wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and he's about half of what he was.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay.
So
he's
now,
got his belt. He's got time and injury in his belt, in my opinion.
I think Tyler's
different
going to
tar-
get.
different target to go to.
I think Tyler might have the game of his year, like this year
Gotcha.
for him,
Now, mind
because
you, they said the Browns don't give too much leeway to tight ends, so keep going, please.
well, the reason being is they don't give the quarterback a lot of time, too.
Gotcha. Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. They say sit him. You hear Mike's version. We're gonna roll with that. Now here's the next one that's tripping me out. Gerald Everett of the Chargers against the Patriots.
Against the Patriots. It's
I
like,
hate to sit him, but Gerald Everett's been around for a minute. He don't get the ball enough.
oh, that's true.
He
Yeah.
don't get the ball enough. That's them. He don't get the ball enough. I hate to say it. The zone last week. The issue is that Everett is entirely touchdown dependent. He has only reached double digits this season in games when he's scored, and he can't count on a touchdown this week against the Patriots, who have allowed just one to a tight end all season. Oh, that's a nice stat.
Yeah, but
They've
this
also
might
given
go with the sit-em. He's only projected for 4 points, so I think you're right.
this is a
He's not getting the ball.
He is a sit 'em. He's a sit 'em, hands down. Mike, any thoughts on this?
I think you're absolutely correct in what you're thinking here. I don't see right now that there's rumors that people want New England to keep losing because they want them to have the best picks. It's getting to that point. But
That's definitely something to look at this time of the season. That right now with the team like the New England and Carolina, even the Giants, fans are saying that about the Giants as far as that goes, even though they won the last two.
We'll roll with that. Sit Logan Thomas of the Commanders at the Dolphins.
I would not
Brian,
say
that's
that.
your man's, Brian. That's your man's, Brian. That's your man's.
And Brian says,
"That's your man's, Brian." Look at who the Commanders are up against. I give them that. Have I said things on behalf of the Commanders? Yes, I have. But they're going up against the Dolphins. Thomas brought a safe floor most weeks earlier in the year. Unfortunately, last week was not most weeks. As Thomas was limited to just 2 catches for 15 yards. His volume has decreased of league, and he has 5 targets in 3 of the last 4 games. If you want 7 and 9 fantasy points, Thomas can come through for you, but there's not much more upside than that. That's pretty much it. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%.
I think Tony, this is another one. He's not getting the ball because he's not even he's getting like less than 4 points. He's projected to possibly get 4 points today, but the last couple games he's gotten he's not getting the ball. He has
subpar. He'll get yards, but he's not big points.
But he's not getting the ball with the points and stuff.
I have a question for you too,
yes.
and it is kind of related.
Mhm.
Who is the number 1 passes completed quarterback in the league? Number 1.
Ooh, I'm not looking. Just off the top of my head.
He's also pass attempts and pass yards.
Prescott is really?
I would say.
No.
Who?
Okay, it is Sam Howell.
Oh, for God's sakes! He just started playing for real. No, I'm not doing this.
So here's the thing with, unfortunately, our friend Sam Howell is they have to score every play to be in the game because they have no defense. That's their only problem.
Whoa. The Commanders have no defense?
They have no defense this
Let me
year.
get something to drink.
I think they got a pretty decent. It's not high up there, but they have a pretty good defense compared to some other teams, I think.
I don't know that they haven't been showing it recently.
No. Please emphasize what you're saying. I want to hear this honestly. Go ahead, please.
I think at the beginning of the year, before all the injuries, yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
But they play such a wild type of offense. And the truth is, with Sam Howell, if he was on any other team right now that had a good defense, not a great defense, like you imagine if New York Jets had Sam Howell with his production, even if he had 25% less production, that guy knows how to get the ball to where it needs to go.
Brian was saying.
Plus, if you gave him more time to throw the ball, there would be less interceptions.
So is that defense or offensive line?
He's got his offensive line could be way better.
Gotcha.
Could be way better. But he has 3,339 passing yards.
Okay.
3,339.
I got you.
That
Already
is
this season.
insane.
Already this season, yes. Already this season. He putting up them Peyton Manning numbers, is what you're saying.
Well, his rating is 87.3, so he's up there.
But he's, and you know what part of that is?
What's
It's the
that?
coaching too. It's the coaching.
I like Ron Rivera as a coach. I hate what's going on with the Commanders, because I like Ron Rivera. I thought he did great. Him and Cam were a tandem. They truly were. I hate what happened there. They should have won a lot farther, in my opinion.
Right.
We got next.
But there are so many teams this year, guys, that just a few pieces, and it would be a totally different outcome. Like
course.
you imagine right now if the Kansas City had found a way to get Mike Evans, how different the outcome would be this year.
Oh, I'll throw this back at you, and I'm gonna keep throwing this out there. Imagine if the Minnesota Vikings with Deshaun Watson instead of the Browns. Where would they?
Just concerning Sam Howell on Sports Illustrated. Is it Sports Illustrated? Miami Dolphins versus Washington Commanders game day preview. This is just a headline. Sam Howell lead team to upset win.
Yeah, it would be an upset. It would be a big upset. I kind of like it as an upset, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
Guys,
against Miami.
How many times do you think Sam Howell has been sacked this year? Guess.
I have no idea.
Just make a guess.
God damn it, Mike. This year, he's only on his.
Yeah, this year.
Has he played all season?
Yes, he has.
At least
Somehow.
15. At least 15.
Huh?
At least 15. At least 15 times.
Try 56. He has been sacked 56 times. And you're telling me how great the defense is?
No, you said.
No,
Well,
I didn't. No, I said the defense has not been good
No,
this
I'm
year.
not saying it's great, but I think it's a solid defense.
If he
There's
got sacked
some
56
issues.
times,
They fired their coach on the defense. Yeah, but is it totally? They just that they saw something on that Thanksgiving game where they were getting reeled, and they have to make adjustments. So can they just get rid of players? No, let's get rid of the coach and bring a new perspective in, and hopefully get back online. I think the defense has been. It's not subpar. I think it's been a pretty decent defense, not overrated and stuff like that. But
Right.
I keep saying defense. If he got sacked 56 times, this is offensive line. It's got nothing to do with defense.
But how? Well, that's an offensive line now. The offensive line. Well, that's a different story. Yeah, that's different than the defense. Your offensive line, where the quarterback gets sacked, that's an offensive line. Do they have a good offensive line? I don't think it's really. It didn't prove well during Thanksgiving, where the quarterback did get sacked a group of times.
Okay, so here's my point. The amount of points that they have scored, which has been a lot this year, on a team that, say, was like the Steelers, they would be in first place.
Okay.
Right? So if you took Sam Howell and put him on the Steelers, oh my God. Even at half the production.
That's fair. And I'll roll with that.
But no one ever talks about Sam Howell. All they ever talk about is Brock Purdy, who is also.
Oh, they've mentioned Sam Howell as far as what I've seen this last week on the Talking Heads and stuff like that. They brought him up as he's a fairly decent quarterback, and I think you're right in saying it's somebody that caliber. If you put him in, say, at another team that's a little bit better in other areas, such as a solid offensive line, he probably would shine like there was no tomorrow. As far as
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you kept saying defense though. You kept saying defense. That's why I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah, that's true. It's not the defense.
But here's what I'm saying is, if the defense could keep them in the game where they didn't have to score every time they got on the field, that's my point.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like if they had where they played stingy, they don't. Right? Like if you look at the Steelers, you look at the Browns, they play a very stingy, low scoring games. That's how they win.
That's fair. Roll with that. Took a crack at the Green Bay Packers. They say sit him against the Chiefs. Yeah. 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 Any questions?
He hasn't had a great year,
No,
unfortunately.
yeah, he's just said him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not. I just looked at his stats. He's another one that's not getting the. He's not getting the points, so that means he's not getting the ball. He's not getting the touches.
That's all it is to it. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your tight end recommendations for week 13, 2023 season, of course, NFL.com.
He is so funny. Did you see what he put in here, Brian?
What is it?
The
Oh,
name.
she's the Vista.
Oh yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth.
We're not allowed to say that anymore, Brian.
a slip.
Whoop.
That's the truth. Kickers, ladies and gentlemen, kickers.
Where the hell are kickers? How did you?
Cowboys kicker? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Who are the top
Mike?
kickers? I'm not adjusted enough to know this. This is not something I've really researched.
You pretty much want the kicker to go along with your defensive fall. The two go hand in hand. If you got a decent defense, you got a decent kicker. Actually, I take that back. If you got a decent offense that's going to get you down, you want that kicker. Then it comes down to how accurate the kicker. Harrison Butker for the Chiefs.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys this year, and this is where I need work. I need to actually really research this. But there's a lot of kickers that have problems hitting it in the 30 to 40 zone, and yet will hit a 50.
Because
I've noticed that this year. Like they'll miss the 30.
I think some of those that are misses, it's various factors involved. Because there's
Because it's raining.
Even when it's not raining, Michael. But then there's another kicker. He'll be 50 yards out, and it's raining, and you say there's no way you can make it. And he puts it right, splits through the up leg. So it's sort of like a crapshoot almost. I don't know what the variable is.
The best kickers kick into the wind, which in Chicago in the wintertime, when it gets real windy up there, you'll kick the ball straight when it'll start fluctuating. I saw one guy, and it was phenomenal. End zone was right there. He kicked it this way. The wind blew it right in between the uprights. It was phenomenal.
So who do you think is the top kicker in the NFL right now, as far as in 2023 season?
I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to go with this guy right here, Brandon Aubrey, right now.
Well, let's say Justin Tucker, number one in the AFC West.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, and then they also have Eddie Perino from the Panthers. So that's because he can't get a touchdown.
Hey, he's doing fine, getting all this practice. I have no debate against the Cowboys kick against the Seahawks. I have no debate against the Jaguars kick against the Bengals. I have no debate against the Dolphins kick against the Commanders. Do either one of you?
I don't know enough, so I'm going to be quiet.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. These are pretty much going to be kickers that's going to be on teams that's going to beat that other team. I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, it should beat the Seahawks, but that was Thursday night's game. You all can check that out for yourselves by those numbers, see if we're wrong or see if the recommendations up here were wrong. The Jaguars kick against the Bengals, I'm going to call that because I don't think the Bengals are going to win this game. However, and I have not said this on broadcast, I will say it today. I've always talked about both sides of the Bengals looking real good. In all actuality, it was just may stop the Jaguars.
Well, Higgins is back. Higgins is back, supposedly. Did you hear that?
Higgins is back. Let me throw this out there. In the Super Bowl, the Rams could not throw or run the ball against the Bengals well enough. Cooper Kupp saved them. OBJ saved them with the short pass. OBJ got lucky, I think, with one good 20-yard throw. But Cooper Kupp was killing them with the 5 and 10-yard short passes. So, honestly, I think the Bengals just might make this game pretty interesting. I got you, Brian. I see you over there. Appreciate it. Came on late because I was on the other screen, so that's my fault. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this at you because I'm picking. You spelled Prater wrong. It's T-E-R. Go back to sleep. Jason Sanders, you want him. He's a great kicker against the Dolphins, against the Commanders. I think he should get double digits this game. He should get double digits. Dicker of the Chargers, I don't know enough about him, but look who he's up against, the Patriots. Stop it. Any questions? Anybody?
None.
Gotcha.
I need to learn more about this.
You're fine. Rich, you good over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. Stidham.
Can we talk about? Oh, sorry. I'll be quiet.
Young Huku Falcons. I would not sit him against the Jets. However, this
this guy, he's
just stopping him to get to the other side of the field. But I wouldn't sit him. I'm going to tell you why. Young Huku is a decent kicker. The Falcons will get that field, but the Jets can stop him. I understand where they're coming from, but this aspect.
I
Dustin
think
Hopkins of the Browns against the Rams, I don't think we'll put up enough points because this is going
yeah.
to be about the team getting to the other side of the 50.
Hasn't
In
he
my,
been a factor in previous games though, Tony, when they're close? The Browns there. Yeah, I mean they've
I
won a
have
couple
to check,
close games because of this guy. I think.
I'd have to check, but I will tell you this is going to be about either team getting to the other side of the 50. In my opinion, I think there's enough for both sides to mess. This should be a low scoring game.
And then you look at the next one. They say sit the Cincinnati kicker.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't. Say Joe Mixon has a good day and gets the ball downfield.
Exactly. And this
Say
guy,
T. Higgins gets the ball. Say,
yeah.
say the short pass works for Cincinnati since we don't have too much faith in the quarterback. Say all of those things work. I almost want to contest. I
Yeah.
almost want to contest this. Where's the Jets? Yeah, I'm going to get him. I tell you to sit him, but let me tell you something. The Jets could stop you to where when the offense gets in, all they got to do is kick a field goal. Jets defense is probably going to slow the Falcons down to their side of the field. The Jets get the ball,
But
the 50, and the kicker gets the field goal. That's it.
yeah, but the thing is with the kickers, with an aspect that we need to put in on this and stuff like that. I'm seeing more times this season than any other season, and even in college, when they got 4th and 1, even 4th and 2, some cases 4th and more than that, they'll go for it
Yes,
because
sir.
they have confidence and stuff like that. So,
Yes, sir.
where if they got the touch or got the field goal, and I'm just wondering if that's the teams that are doing that, and there's a lot more teams this year that are going 4th and 1 and some yardage. It's just like the kicker could more than likely get a 3-point, but they know they're gonna get, if they get that first down, they can punch it in because they're in the red zone and stuff.
Right. You know what? I got to call one. I got to mess with one of my homeboys. We normally bet on games, and he's a Falcons fan. I'm gonna take the Jets today. I gotta take the Jets today.
What is it about Atlanta that you're unsettled with?
Oh no, he's a Falcons fan, and he knows I like the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Panthers. He always gets on my case about it, so I just had to pick on him real quick. I bet on today's game. Ladies and gentlemen, those are kicker recommendations for Week 13, 2020 season.
The last kick that was exciting, Tony, to me, was the one with Buffalo, right? And Jake Elliott did that 59. I think it was into the wind, into the rain.
Yeah, exactly, Michael.
That to me was the most exciting kick I've seen this year.
It is by far a good example.
What do you think, Tony? Can you think of one that was better than that?
The one I told you, I forgot what game it was. I forgot what year it was. Somebody kicked it into the wind and went to the uprights. I want to say it was in the 90s.
No, this season though, but the one that Michael just said.
This season, I haven't seen an exciting kick. I'm not.
He also hit one at 61 yards this year.
The longest one I think has been 63. The longest.
That is a long field goal. Like,
that's scary when they give the camera view of that when they're kicking that far too, Mike.
I know a guy in college who did this kick practicing. He was from Jamaica.
Yeah.
He was kicking that ball 60 yards. I was like, okay. So you can imagine in the real NFL field, I give you that, but all you gotta do is knock that bad boy straight. Put some height on it, put some strength behind it. Mike, you said you need educational kickers. Let me ask you this. What is it that you will be looking for?
I just need to watch more film. I don't know. I would have to learn more about it. So are we almost done? Did we do almost?
Almost. Q&A real quick. Give me a second. Sitting. Jay Williams, Ford, Bijan Ross, David Montgomery. Brian, what you think about this? That's Javonte Williams. Okay. I think
David Montgomery's hurt, isn't he?
I don't know. You'll be telling me something I don't know. Chad, thank you for coming through. I think I'm going to say out of that list, I wouldn't sit Williams today. I wouldn't sit Ford today. I wouldn't sit Robinson today. Noah Brown, I'm unaware of. Higgins is actually kind of catching my attention based on the narrative I just gave.
He's fresh. It's his
We'll,
first
we'll
day
go with
back.
David Montgomery based on what Mike just said. We'll go with David Montgomery. I'll
Yeah,
go with
Ford
David.
Ford has been phenomenal lately.
Yes. I'll
Yeah.
go with David Montgomery. And I hate to say that because we just said we should start him a couple weeks ago. But I'll go with David Montgomery. Appreciate the question. Mike, I'm pretty much good. We got defenses left, but I think we ran through them already. So go for yours, please.
What do you want me? I want to talk about the MVP this year.
Now that I've finished my topics, you can go ahead with your
No, I'm curious what you guys think. Like, there's
who
so
the
many
MVP
names
is in the NFL.
in the NFL. Yes, in the NFL.
Well, the question came up before, and there was an offensive defensive aspect of it. I don't know much
Right.
about defensive players, but offensively, it's going to be CJ Stroud. Higgins is fresh, but Noah Brown has a sick QB. If Noah Brown has a sick QB, you got to make it David Montgomery. You have to make it David Montgomery. Appreciate you coming through
Did
the
you
line. Go ahead.
did you know some of the best players? Just to answer the question there, some of the greatest records ever broken on the field have been when players have been sick, like in the sense of having a cold or slight flu.
Because you
Even
had a
in
factor against you. You had a factor against you. That's why. But go ahead.
some say because what ends up happening is you're more focused than you would be if you were fully healthy. You're more laser focused trying to
Mhm.
get through the task. You're not worrying about all the other things.
Right.
Like Travis right now. Like Travis is probably going, okay, I've got that for
Mike, that
15
would be you.
million.
If you had a billionaire
I've got
girlfriend, you
that
would
for
be distracted.
25
That's the problem.
million. I
That's
could
the
have
problem.
my another podcast.
You would
I
have a
could
house
do.
full of gifts. You would be going crazy with your relatives on the podcast. You have a billionaire girlfriend. Your ass would be the one that's distracted. That's the problem.
Oh, I'd be like, thank you, football. It's been great. It's been great. Thank you.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's good.
goodness,
That's
Rich,
good.
anything you want to add, man?
Well, we got the things for last week there, week 12. I finally got after I got through my
Oh no,
demise with Buffalo Bills, and you can see Tony racked it up last week.
the
Ted
man.
came second. Michael, you still had 8-8. That's still good. 8 and
Oh, it
8
was
is good.
awful. That was such a
No,
bad
but
week.
I was bad. I was bad. Okay. Now with Tony and Ted and Brian and even CBS, because CBS was second. I got knocked out of the first place spot. If I don't do good this time, Tony and Ted are gonna
I'm only
they're
3
just gonna
games back. Thank you. I'm only 3 games back.
yeah, you're moving up, Tony. You are moving up, okay, as far as that goes. And even Brian's moving up. So you can see we're fairly close. I don't have you, Michael, because I don't have there was a lot of data I can't place
So
you on
tell me
this.
what weeks, because every week I've recorded a show,
Yeah.
and we have, it's right there. It's proof. So I can, and I'll be real. I won't lie.
Well, I gotta go back and add up yours to plug you in there, and I'll just put the
I'll do it for you. I'll go to
No,
from.
I have the data. I just got to go through the sheets. I've got my sheets and stuff. I got an empty spot here, so I'll be
Can
working
I share
on
a
that.
couple of predictions I made at the
Go.
beginning of the
We got
year?
about 20
Okay.
good minutes. Go ahead. We got 20 good minutes.
First prediction I made was most of the top quarterbacks would be injured this year and wouldn't be able to play. That was number one. Number two was I saw the Steelers doing very well, even though many people thought they wouldn't. The other prediction I had, which I think is going to be wrong, is the Seahawks would do better than they thought they would this year.
Right.
And
I thought the Seahawks would do better than what they're doing right
and
now.
I also said in the very first broadcast, this will be a year of low production for most offenses, and it'll be a defensive year, and it'll be very physical and lots of injuries, more so than usual. Those were the three that I had. I
You
had
just speak
nothing with Taylor Swift, billionaire girlfriends, none of that. I had none of that in there. Tony, you be like, football being good to me, I must go. Thank you. Bye. You be flying you be in the private jet going.
I would have a Concorde if I was in that status he was in. I would have a Concorde.
Have you seen the house he recently bought?
No, I would have a Concorde.
Tony, I do have one more thing to bring up.
Please go.
I'd like to share this. Yesterday, here in Tioga County, New York,
Go for it.
we had our local high school here that the missus has gone to. My children have gone to. This is the Tioga Center High School in Tioga County, New York. They won not their first, not their second, but their third in a row Class D New York State Championship yesterday. The final score was 63-14. They annihilated them. Just as a side note, there was a second Class C, Waverly, New York, which is right down the road from where I live at here in Tioga County, New York, the southern tier of upstate New York. They won the Class C for the first time. So we have two state champions here in Tioga County. And I just want to recognize that we had the missus is elated. That's her high school. So I just want to make mention because right just before dinner, they had a parade through the street. They're going around the county fire departments. Behind the two buses that carried the Tioga Tigers high school team, there was like over a mile long of cars and fans. And I'm just sitting there. I almost got hoarse last night yelling and screaming out in front of my, my hat's off to them. That's high school at its purest, is on the high school level. Friday night.
Folks who are still high school fans, I love it. I love it. I love it. I ain't mad. Anything else you gentlemen want to add? Mike, any recap? Came in late. Anything you wanted to cover from last week's games?
I would love to know what you guys think will be the MVP. I want you guys to predict this year.
I couldn't answer that, Michael, to be honest with you. There's too many players. In what category? The overall MVP?
Overall MVP. If you had to guess, it's just a guess, because right now the odds are really high.
Same answer I've been giving 3 weeks, CJ Stroud.
You think CJ Stroud? You think he'll be the MVP?
I'm going to say Josh. I'm going to just throw a name out there. I'm going to say Josh Allen. No, I don't. I don't know, Michael. I really don't know.
I like that name. Wait, hey, a lot can happen between then and now.
Right now,
well, you said well, the thing is, it's going to probably end up being a quarterback, like it's always at, right?
Yeah. Everyone's saying that Tyreek Hill should get it if he can.
I could go. Yeah, I could see that.
Why?
If they end up winning, let's say they win the whole kit and caboodle.
That's where I don't think that. Yeah, if he wins everything, I think it's going to go to him.
If he get the Super Bowl, I'll give you that.
I think he should get it if they win the whole kit and caboodle.
He has put up big numbers. You have shown that on your broadcast. He has put up monster numbers.
Yeah. The other person they've talked about is Brock Purdy. If they win the whole kit and caboodle. Here's one that I don't know. I don't even know if it can happen. But let's just say that Russell Williams somehow won the Super Bowl this year.
Wilson. I'll give you that.
Yes, I always get that wrong.
Yeah.
If Russell wins, I give you these answers as of right now. If Tyreek Hill and them win the Super Bowl, I'll give you that. If Russell Wilson and make it to the Super Bowl, I halfway give you that.
That would be the comeback story, right?
It would be one of them. Because Geno Smith, if they make.
What about what Brian said in the comments though about Strauss as far as rookie of the year? I think he already has.
He's already got it.
Yeah, I think he's got it already.
He's already got it.
Here's for Brock Purdy. I would give it to Chris Carey before Brock Purdy right
now.
Okay, and why is that?
Because Chris McCaffrey has been more dynamic on the field than Brock Purdy has.
They would have to win it all, though, buddy. They'd have to win it all, just
if they win it all. We'll go to Christian McCaffrey. That man's a beast. He's just a damn Autobot / Decepticon.
Decepticon, you got it in.
Okay, I have another fun one. Name 4 teams you think have a chance of winning it all, the Super Bowl. Name 4.
San Francisco, Philadelphia.
I agree with that one. I agree.
Kansas City and Miami. Those are top 4 teams.
I'm going to I would agree with the first 3. I would throw Miami out and throw the Bills. I still have faith in the Bills.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those 4. The first 3 that Tony said, hands down. Yeah, it's going to be one of those first.
People are ready to throw Dallas and Detroit in there right now, but it's Unfortunately, and no disrespect to them, it's too early.
It could happen though. It could happen.
They don't have a history of it happening right now. They don't have a history.
You don't think so?
Not right now. Dallas has to win 2 playoff games. Detroit has to win a playoff game in the first place.
That's what makes football so interesting.
Here are my 4. Okay. You guys done?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to be respectful. Okay.
You want to ask us
The 49ers, I think, are most likely right now. Number 2, Philly. Number 3, KC. And number 4, just to switch it up, our sweet Dallas Cowboys. One of those are my 4.
Yeah. It's possible.
Dallas is good right now. Dallas, they right there right now.
I think we all agree on the top 3, but the thing is, they get into the playoffs. They gotta be consistent. They gotta stay the course and stuff like that. And we've seen, again, I use San Francisco as example years past. They mow down everybody during the course of the season, and then Kansas City's done that, and then they come to the Super. They implode. It's like, what the hell happened? Did you just give them the game? You were told, okay, let's just give them what happened? It's mind-boggling when you get to the championship and you're at your prime and you're expected to be the best of the best, and you barely play half your speed and stuff like that. So that's what shocks me.
Can we just briefly, and I know it's not my show, we're almost at 2 hours anyways. But can we just highlight some of the weird matchups next week? Can we do that for a minute? Okay.
Sure.
So
I don't even know who's playing next week.
I got it right in front of me here.
Yeah,
so
go ahead,
okay, so we got the Patriots and the Steelers.
You talking about which week? Week 14 or week
14.
Okay, you talking about the week after. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, not this week. We've already discussed that. So Patriots, Steelers. I think the Steelers have a very good chance of winning that game. What do you guys think?
Patriots and Steelers?
Yeah.
Still have that game.
It's a Thursday game.
Yeah,
here's a fun game. Texans and the Jets, and that's a Sunday game at 1. That one I honestly I would love to see the Texans win, but I have a weird feeling the Jets are going to fight. We're gonna see some stuff happen.
The Jets defense is going to be a main factor.
Mm-hmm. Here's one that should be.
I think Texas are good at both sides of the ball. Brian, you got to correct me on that. I think Texas are good at both sides of the ball. And I remember him talking about the defense at the beginning of the season. I may be wrong. I know he spoke on the offense. I think I'm in this as well.
I'm telling you, for the wild card spots, it's anybody's. There are so many teams that are close. It's crazy. So I'm looking here.
Last season, look at the roster. So look at the final standings of last season. Watch how the teams are. The talent is spread out evenly throughout the whole NFL. That's why I think last season was a good marketing tool for the NFL itself. All the final standings were very close. I want to say maybe 3 games rate most teams across the whole NFL. I have to go back. Go ahead.
Here's another game. I don't want to go too deep, but we've got the Rams and the Ravens. Again, depending on how well people heal, that could be again a close game. I love the Ravens. I would love to see the Ravens do really well this year. They have one of the best running games
right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think they're ranked in the AFC right now.
Yeah. They could do well just running the ball. Honest to God. They have 3 backs that are all good.
Yeah, they don't get the ball.
They do.
Because Elwell Jackson's always damn running.
Yeah, and he's number 4, and he's not been running this year.
Yeah.
They are, they've got Flowers. They got OBJ, who's kind of he's getting
out.
some.
He's done.
He was overpaid.
Yeah,
that was crazy. And then we've got the Panthers and the Saints. So,
no.
Will the Saints squeeze one out there? What do you think?
No. Well,
sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the week 14. That's what we're looking at. And the 2 games. There's 2 games that just jump out.
Okay.
Jump out at me, and it's not because of the Bills, but it's who the Bills are going against. The Bills and Chiefs. That's one.
Yeah.
And the second one is going to be the Eagles and Cowboys. Those are the two games that just pop out at that. All the other games are like, okay, yeah, they're matchups. It could go either way or whatever and stuff. But those are the two like this week. What's the premier game? San Francisco and Philly. The Eagles and Cowboys, I think that jumps out more because it's going to show. Have the Cowboys played the Eagles at all this year, Tony?
They did already.
I don't.
They're in the same division.
They
had to play once, if not twice.
Yeah, they had that. Yeah, I just can't remember.
The Cowboys lost to them.
Did they lose? So that's
that.
And but those two games, because they're primarily the teams we're talking about with Michael. What are our top four and stuff like that. Not to say the other games they probably are. Those are the only two matchups really that.
See, for me, I'm looking at the Jaguars and the Browns. I think that'll be a great game.
It doesn't pop out as far as it's just another. It'll be a good win for either team.
And don't underestimate the Broncos and the Chargers. That will be a good game.
Well, that's a divisional game. Yeah, that should be a good game because that's a divisional.
Yeah. And the Dolphins have to win against the Titans. Have to. It's a must.
Should be a no-brainer. That should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a factor if they don't and the Bills beat the Chiefs, and I don't know if that's a swap over on the because if it's a tie, the Bills, I don't think they take the lead over the Miami until they play the second game.
So let's say that a miracle happened, and the Giants won every game until the end.
No.
I'm
not even going to entertain it.
No.
They've done it before.
Yeah.
Not right.
I know they have.
Not with this team. Not with this team. No.
Okay, and the other one, the Buccaneers, if they won every game till the end,
Buccaneers would probably have more of a chance than the Giants because they at least have a decent quarterback.
I agree with Tony with Broncos. Watch out for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done, guys. That's all I wanted.
That's good. That's interesting. Take a preview.
Do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, so I can go eat now.
Tony, or
your mouth talking about me.
Hello, my friends.
Oh my goodness, I'm good, gentlemen. I appreciate both of you for being here. Thank you for being here in the C-chat. Thank you for being here in the chat. We got Desi was in the chat there. Here, Carmen was here. I had comments post up late, but comments came up late. So Carmen, thank you for coming through. Debbie, thank you for coming through. Information man, thank you for coming through. Happy belated birthday for coming through. Appreciate everybody checking us.
We got one last comment there, Tony.
Yeah.
We got from
at the bottom. Darius Brown should trade Jay Cook and Brees has been consistent, but he has not been consistent.
I agree. I would agree.
That's the whole truth. Darius, I appreciate you coming through. Not being consistent. He had 2 excellent games, maybe 3. Not being consistent.
And Myers could break out.
You know what? I'm sorry, Mike. Give me 1 second, and I do apologize because it just hit me. The Falcons have offense, so that's a good question for the day. But he hasn't been consistent. That's the only Cook. I saw the game. I think it was last week. Might have been over the holidays, and it pissed people off. Jacoby Myers, I want to say he's off and on. But Brees would have to have more me to be like, yeah, go ahead and get him. I like Brees Hall. I like Michael Carter. Michael Carter got traded, so the Jets are actually in a flux. And Dalvin Cook's looking today, right now. I have to tell you no. That would just be my recommendation. Do me a favor, take him, prove wrong. Listen, don't be mad at me later on. One of the two, but he hasn't been consistent. I can't tell you yes. I really can't. All right, man, Rich, ladies and gentlemen, the morning coffee on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 05:30. That's how Rich, appreciate you being here. Michael Bathurst, he's all over the place like I am. Primarily you. Check him out. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you out there. Turn your damn. That's how you do this.
Can
I understand the schedule. Mike. I understand everybody doing all that. It's very easy for me, and maybe I'm ADD OCD or which diagnosis they want to give us nowadays. The reason I catch
Right.
everybody is I get the little beep on my phone. I'll see us up there and watch the replay. It ain't there. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mike.
thank you for those that are watching the replay. Appreciate it. You got to always recognize
We
those.
do.
Because I've got a lot of replays on Rumble, and I want to thank Rich for making me go over to Rumble in the first place.
Rumble's a great place to hang out at.
You've been
Yes.
saying that. You've been saying that. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
My bad, man.
I just want to do a shout out to Erica Badu. If you like, a marathon of music and dancing and silliness, check out Tony D with Erica
That's why
Badu for.
I got Mike rolling with me because he'll do this. Plug your shit. I know the video was messed up on it, and I didn't notice that. Somebody told me during the broadcast it was choppy. I got to do an audio version, leave the audio out there. If you need to do say Erica Badu marathon, yes, and that, Mike, I do appreciate that. I do. That
If
was
you want to
fun.
learn new groovy dance moves.
I hate his.
There you go. No, Tony, thank you for having me up here as always. It's always a pleasure to be here with you
Yes.
as well as with you, Michael. And this is my Sunday. I like this.
Aw,
So
thank you.
what the missus? Oh, the miss.
Thanks for keeping us busy.
Oh, it's keeping me busy. The missus says, Tony.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tony says you're welcome.
That's my link tree, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
better than raking leaves.
It is. There's the channels on. If you don't see it on one, you will see it on the other. If you're looking for the replay, be on one of those channels up there. Thank you all again. Go check out the college playoff rankings. They just dropped them about 2. If you didn't hear the ESPN alert.
Ooh, yeah, I'm
That'll be
interested in
good.
that. Yeah.
Yesterday
some games
was
this
a big
weekend.
factor. Is the only hint I'm going to give you. Big factor. Now, everybody go ahead and get mad. I already know somebody that's mad right now. I'm about to go holler at them. I will kill you. You might see me tonight. You might see me tonight.
Ooh.
But we'll see how it goes. Everybody take care.
Post show.
I'll try if I'm not sleeping on the couch, Tony. You know that.
Maybe. The past few post show because ain't show up.
Well, if you want to do a post show, give me a little message. And
Yeah, I'm going to have him for the afternoon, so I'm going to go. We're going to go have some fun. I took it to the movie
hopefully he'll.
yesterday.
What'd you watch in the movies?
We went to go see that movie, Wish.
Okay.
Decent,
Okay. Yeah.
decent Disney film for the imagination without any type of intent, but to be careful what you're working on, what you're for, what you're in control of,
Yeah.
and to never get heart. You'd have to watch the movie to see it. If you're a parent, take the kids.
Yeah.
A couple of subliminal.
Better than the Marvel movie, right? That's tanking.
that I didn't.
I haven't seen either one of them, but I've been reading about the Marvel one. It is like, and this is a Disney movie. This Wish, that's a Disney movie too, isn't it? Yeah. So maybe they got a winner finally.
Not that bad. It just wasn't what we saw before. They are disrespecting them. That'd be great for syndication. Leave us on cable. That movie's gonna be fun.
That's for another show, Tony.
I'm gonna drop this down for gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. Everybody chat. Thank you. Everybody in the replay. I appreciate each and every y'all again. All right.